Yes, Biden open borders is the mantra. And by the way, let's take a look at it, because this is what this dickhead's going to say. No question. By the way, holy shit, he looks a mess. And by the way, I don't get, they do this silent opening. I don't know if they just can't afford music or if this is just straight up like Hitler bullshit.
Far more illegal immigrants have entered the United States in the last 2 years than at any time in American history.
Okay, no, they haven't. That's just false. We have the recidivism rate currently, hold on. I know we're going to have to bring this up, so I might as well. This is one of those things where border crossing recidivism. Track Immigration reports most Border Patrol apprehensions are for repeat crossers, but agency data doesn't yet provide the full picture. Using detailed government records, Track finds that the percent of Border Patrol apprehensions that compromise repeat border crossings did not significantly increase when under Title 42 illegal border crossers were not penalized or sanctioned before they were expelled. This finding, based on data obtained from the Border Patrol, is contrary to agency contentions and arguments by policy analysts that immediate expulsions without applying meaningful sanctions such as compliance with repeated this is their version. Okay, here we go. Border Patrol arrests repeat and illegal entries. There. No prior is 40%. Over 60%. Well, just under 60, 59.2% have one prior. 21% of them have one prior. 13% have two priors. And 24.6% of people crossing the border have 3+ priors. They have tried more than 3 times. By the way, according to Donald John Trump, that one person who tried more than 3 times is 4 fucking people.
And by a massive margin.
Massive margin.
We've never seen anything like it.
That's because people used to just cross once and get processed.
Our country is under invasion.
Okay, under attack, being invaded. Under invasion is not a thing. Look, but he's got the best words. Who am I to say?
Days ago,
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I need to check something. Okay. Sorry. Parents just left, and we're going to go to the hockey game. So
15,000 illegal aliens were encountered crossing the border.
Encountered? Nope. There is a difference between an immigrant or an illegal alien or whatever you want to call them crossing the border and the encounter itself, because you can encounter the same person multiple times. Think of it as close encounters of the 3+ times.
In a single 48-hour period.
The fucking edit here. Look at this shit. And by the way, the straining just to get this shit out. Again, Biden has a stutter. It's always a lot of work for him to speak publicly. It's not reflective of the ideas that he has or his ability to actually cajole people into doing what he wants or scare the shit out of them on occasion. Trump supposedly has the best words, says what people feel, and doesn't have a filter. And yet all of these words look like they're lurching out of his asshole through his neck.
Days ago, 16,000 illegal aliens were
crawling through my colon.
Encountered crossing the border in a single 48-hour period.
Yeah, it's the same 16,000 people that tried 5 times before.
A colossal migrant caravan recently poured across the Rio Grande and into the streets of El Paso, Texas, and the people and the police didn't know what to do about it. It is truly a massive invasion.
You should say invasion again.
Any form of amnesty now would be a catastrophe.
Any form of amnesty now would be a catastrophe. You know what he means? He means DACA. Yeah. And also, he doesn't want them to pass comprehensive immigration reform because it would be yet another thing that he could have passed during his presidency but failed to.
It rewards Joe Biden's lawlessness, and it rewards the criminal cartels, and it rewards everyone. It rewards everybody. You get a reward, and I get a reward. It rewards all the reward. It rewards Bruce Ward, and who has broken the laws of our nation because they've never done anything to our country like they're doing right now.
What do you mean? Picking fruit and doing construction?
Our country is being poisoned.
Oh, I see. We're moving straight into the Hitler, these people are rats.
Remember, our border is not open because of insufficient resources or legal authorities. Our border is open because Joe Biden has ordered it to be open, and because...
No, he didn't. Show me anywhere. Any fucking where. Where did Joe Biden... Show me the executive order. Hold it up. Put it on screen. That Joe Biden ordered the border open. If he ordered it open, why did he have Mayorkas and his other, like, his border czar come out and say the border is closed in English and in Spanish?
Because Biden has broken the law and...
Yes, K-Link? Did I miss something?
Torn it into shreds.
What? Hold on.
Our border is open because Joe Biden has ordered it to be open, and because Biden has broken the law and torn it into shreds.
just like Nancy Pelosi did with my speech, I'll never get over it.
He has shredded our system, and he's destroying our country.
And he's shredding he's like Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles who went through sewer pipes and crossed the border illegally. They lived in our sewers without zoning permits.
Biden inherited a flawless deportation system that was working like never before.
Yeah, COVID.
In our history, we never did so well on the border.
Yeah, the expulsions were higher under Obama.
As we were doing just a short time ago under the Trump administration, giving Biden more resources.
Like, he is this far from turning into one of those fucking balloon men. Just like, they're tearing our nation to shreds. Jesus Christ. Is that some sort of fidget?
Will simply translate to even more releases, because that's really what
it's a full release.
They have in mind.
Is it what they have in mind? Did they? Well, I don't know why they would have to have those releases in mind if he's ordered the border open. Why?
This has nothing to do with asylum. Everyone knows this is a pretext, and this is a fraud.
A pretext and a fraud. What's it a pretext for? Did you skip a line? Nah, they're not going to fix it.
Anyone who pretends otherwise plays into the hands of Biden and the criminal cartels.
Yes, who are working hand in glove right now to smuggle women and children across the border.
This is about Biden's...
Oh, his volume's loud? Oh, I see. He's low. Hold on one second. Let me see if that's... Why was it... I didn't turn it down. Hold on. Sorry. Is this better?
Criminal misconduct. The most important reform needed right now is a total ban on Biden using taxpayer dollars to free illegal aliens and criminal penalties.
So we should enforce Biden capturing any person crossing the border illegally and house them indefinitely? Isn't Title 42 just releasing them into fucking Mexico? How is it not more expensive to keep people? How long are we going to keep them in sort of weird manufactured prisons until they earn citizenship by living here? What are you trying to do? Give them squatters' rights?
For administrative non-compliance, which happens every single minute
of every single day.
Every single day.
Oh, it's terrible. Wow, that's it. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Who edited this? Don Jr.? They just cut him off at the end. That's it. Holy shit.
And criminal penalties for administrative non-compliance, which happens every single minute of every single day.
Yeah, they just didn't bother to... Does he come back and say thank you? No, that's just fucking weird. Like, they just blew it off. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I never read Mein Kampf. Maybe there's a chapter, Never Say Goodbye. But he did another one, too, because he's worried about the omnibus spending bill, which will pass, by the way. And it's basically Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert against everybody else who wants the country to fucking function normally. But you got to understand, if they pass this stuff, then the Democrats have to deal with the responsibility of the bills they pass. They have to go, we did this, and the results were either good or the results were bad. And the Republicans avoid all that shit by just not doing anything. They don't ever pass shit. They just don't bother. If you just don't pass anything, there's no responsibility. I just didn't do anything while I was there. Even though not doing anything, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice, right, Getty? So this one didn't get as many views as the border one because, nobody gives a shit. But he posted this. This is new. And he, again, looks like shit. Another one of these, and it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds, so clearly they've done some focus grouping.
Every single Republican should vote no on the ludicrous, unacceptable $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill.
Well, that's all we need. You guys got it, right? You got your marching orders? He told you, maggots, like he doesn't want any of the stuff that's in it. They're renaming a trail after Michelle Obama and funding its upkeep, like a civilized society. It's in there somewhere. In $1.7 trillion, it's like $3.5 million. It's terrifying.
It's a disaster for our country, and it also happens to be a disaster for the Republican Party.
Okay. So those are two separate things, you're saying. So that... Wait. Yeah, so something can be really good for America, but not be good for the Republican Party. In this case, he thinks it's both are bad. But in his mind, there is a standard bifurcation that a lot of stuff that's good for America will fuck with the Republican Party. It's an important clarification. I think that's good.
Because they can stop it. Biden and the radical Democrats are trying to ram through this monstrosity in the dark of night.
They voted during the day. Never mind.
No one has even had a chance to read its.
Okay, first of all, fuck you. I'm sick of this garbage. Every single segment of the budget goes through a subcommittee directed about appointed to look at a particular part of spending, or the intelligence committees, the defense, everybody goes through. They have budgetary meetings about what they need to allocate for each of their areas. Each party, Republicans and Democrats, have people on those committees who brief the entire party and their leadership on the spending package that they've agreed to in each of these fucking committees. The bills are not written by a bill committee on billage. It's every committee goes through their budgetary stuff. Every single one. There are Republicans on all of them. If they don't know what the fuck is in the bill, it's because their people are not doing their homework.
over 4,000 pages crammed with left-wing disasters,
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Washington betrayals, and
Washington betrayals. This sounds like a novel I have to read.
special interest sellout.
By the way, notice how he's saying no one has had a chance to read it, but it's got all this stuff in it. How the fuck would you know?
It's all designed to keep the corruption going without lifting a single finger to solve the problems that matter to hardworking families and Americans.
And Americans, which would be what? Let me guess. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen. There's nothing in this bill to make me president again.
The bill provides $1.9 billion for so.
That's a good point. Spherical Man says, to be fair, he believes that if he didn't read it, nobody has read it. That's true of almost everything.
Called border management to process illegal aliens and release them into our country, but it incredibly prohibits those funds from ever being used for.
I'm sorry, those funds?
To process illegal aliens and release them into our country, but it incredibly prohibits.
Oh, shit. Hold on one second. That was my bad.
Aliens and release them into our country, but it incredibly prohibits those funds from ever.
Those funds. Yeah. There's, by the way, anybody notice there's someone talking in the background and he gets distracted by it?
Management to process illegal aliens and release them into our country, but it incredibly prohibits those funds from ever being used for border security.
Right, because they have funds for border security that are for fucking lights and drones and materials and fucking horse food and gas for ATVs. And they have funds for that. There's also funding for the actual legal processing of migrants coming across the border. Those funds that are for processing are not supposed to be used for fresh ATV tires. There's money for those. We've already given you that. The DHS has a fucking budget. There is nothing budgeted in the DHS so far that is for this extra processing that they have to do to deal with the volume of people coming across. I mean, you can make this argument about any budget anywhere. The money for new coffee filters in the lunchroom shall not be used for toner in the printers. But we really need toner in the printers. Yeah, we know. There's a thing in the budget for toner in the printers. But why can't that money be used for the toner in the printers? Because that's for the fucking coffee filters, asshat. Like, that's what this is. This is the dumbest fucking argument.
To prevent illegal aliens from coming in the first place.
Can you stop all of them? Did you stop all of them? Was there zero crossings? No. So what do you do with the people who make it across? You process them. What if you don't have any money or resources to process them? Let me guess. They just get released. Oh, God.
And most importantly, we're giving $500 million to other countries for border security and for the building of walls. Can you believe this? But we're not allowed to use any money.
Yeah, those are war zones.
For border security.
That's just dumb. No, this isn't even remotely fucking true. You think at $1.7 trillion regular budget, which includes all the underlying budgets of DHS and all these other organizations, that there's no funding for DHS employees and fucking, pension funds and ammo and fucking ATV gas and lights and drones. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Or the building of walls.
The building of walls.
This bill will make the border worse.
No, you made the border worse. You know why? Because when they built the fucking wall, because he wanted to build these new sections, they had to build access roads to build the fucking wall, which makes it easier to cross. They took nearly an untraversable peaks like this, flattened them out, and put a wall in the middle of it, and in that flattening, to actually install the wall, they basically built roads on either side of it, which makes it easier to transport yourself to, and those roads go all the way to the end of the wall. What? I feel like I'm drinking. Do they not even look? Like, this is so funny that they're like, Biden hasn't even been to the wall. Have you? Motherfucker, you can ride a bicycle now to the end of the wall on the Mexican side. You weren't able to do that on that terrain before when it was just a fucking fence. It was a nightmare. This literally made, yes, they made it easier for cartels to drive trucks full of people to the end of the fucking barrier. Holy shit.
It will make crime worse. It will.
You know, being murdered is terrible, but when the person speaks Spanish, it's doubly worse because you die grossed out. The fuck?
Will make the economy worse.
It couldn't possibly be worse, apparently, according to you. We're a country in decline. Haven't you seen? Oh, we're not? Oh. Well.
It will make inflation worse.
How?
It will make every single one of Joe Biden's total catastrophes even more ruinous and damaging to our country.
Everything? How is this going to make the Green New Deal worse? Are these illegal immigrants are going to come across and they're going to bring cocaine and they're going to give it to solar panel workers. Those people are going to work twice as hard. Then the Green New Deal will take us all to communism.
Our country is going to hell
Sorry.
because of what they've done in the last 2 years. Passing it.
Really? Because stock market, real wage growth, actual employment figures, best since the fucking 60s. Honestly, he must think hell looks awesome.
A spending bill now, before Republicans take control of Congress on January 3rd, would squander our best chance to hold Biden fully accountable and force him to secure the border in the new year.
And we could do that by getting on board with the comprehensive immigration bill that would pass because it has enough votes in both the House and the Senate. But Republicans in the Senate are saying they will filibuster it, and because it's not entirely budgetary as policy-wise, you can't do it with reconciliation, so...
Mitch McConnell, who is an absolute disaster, by
and me without popcorn.
the way, must not be allowed to waste this golden opportunity. He's more of a Democrat than a Republican.
Motherfucker, he gave you 3 Supreme Court seats. The only lasting legacy of the entire Trump presidency is what those 3 assholes will do on the Supreme Court. The Trump presidency is even more of a fucking blip if it wasn't for Mitch McConnell. And I fucking hate that guy.
What he's doing to this party is incredible, and what he's doing to our nation is incredible.
I really don't care. He's the minority leader in the Senate right now. Who gives a shit?
Call your congressmen and senators right now and tell them to vote no on Democrats' massive left-wing spending bill.
Because if they get this through after the largest rescue package ever and the Inflation Reduction Act, and the CHIPS Act and the Infrastructure Act and getting us out of Afghanistan, basically, it's like my presidency didn't even fucking exist, and they're doing like real stuff. This sucks.
And they have to do it now. Vote no.
Yeah, it's going to pass, by the way. I got news for you. It's going to pass. It's going to have like $46 billion worth of funding for Ukraine. It's going to drive them ape shit. It's good stuff. Now, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. Think about becoming a Patreon supporter, help out with a Venmo, and again, I want to say thanks to Mary Chandra if she's showing up now, and her husband, I suppose. Or is that your like English and Indian name? Is that what we're doing? I can't tell how it's written. I just wanted to say it might be both. That's possible. Anyways, Love you. Thank you. Very sweet. Yeah, that's it. Fansen, you're right on that. This is a hold on 1 second. Hi, chat room. The problem Trump has is that his whole I've done more in a couple of months in the beginning of our presidency. Did Trump get new teeth? He very well may have. He gets them replaced every 18 months or so. Because he doesn't brush, apparently. He just prefers to just get new teeth every 18 months. I'm not kidding. As soon as they develop plaque, they fucking, he gets new veneers. Which is gross.